Hi, welcome to Jadekind Gaming. My name is Adam. I'm here with Ryan, who is Henwick. We have Austin as Erich. We have Bob as Kalidan. And we have Nick as Jimmy. I'm your Dungeon Master, and we are here for the 7th session of the Underland 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons campaign. And last time Erich was very busy in prison. He got to do a whole lot.
Yes.
Sitting around, making some friends with prisoners.
One does not simply ingratiate themselves to such an obfuscatious and intimidating organizations as a Drow prison without a little effort, some elbow grease, and a lot of good stories.
And it seems like he managed to get rushed out to court as a swarm of other people were being brought into jail all of a sudden.
Just the latest fruits of my labor.
Which we find is somehow tied to the end of the session for the remainder of the party.
Since you got in on protecting somebody over religious things, that's probably something to help you out in prison as far as making groups of friends.
But,
go to court and
really, he never got further than a holding cell so far. He spent a few days in a holding cell.
That's prison.
Yeah.
It counts.
Same building. The rest of you, the strong arms, got a job for the mining company.
Because minor mines are major business.
Because minor mines are major business, and they suspect that some sabotage had been involved in their business, and so they hired you to investigate and revenge them as needed. And you've put a lot of time into investigating and trying to figure out some things until the Cardassian halls were attacked. The Cardassian halls were blown up. The library in the Drow City was exploded. There was some panic. Things were happening. And those of you that weren't already waiting at the Drain Cauldron pretty much rushed there once you figured out what was going on to sort of, I guess, lay low, get out of the way. And picking up there, midday here, you pretty much just sort of rejoined in the main sort of tavern floor of the Drain Cauldron. And you're not alone in that. There are a number of people that are basically ducking into this or any other public building, just sort of something seems to be going on outside, and they're getting off the streets.
So what's going on?
Talk to people as they come in. Basically see if any new people have more information than the people who've been in here for a while.
For the most part, yeah, it's... from that, you're able to gather the same thing that they could tell you. That, yeah, eventually you find out it looks like the library had been attacked. Someone can make an investigation check if you'd like.
I got a 3.
Which
I got
is
a 1.
Which I guess technically it's a good thing he did roll.
I got a 5.
5. And that's about all you get. But doesn't take a huge amount of time later as people have sort of settled in, and it's sort of maybe since you probably were in there waiting for them, you guys probably have a table, but otherwise the building sort of gets to standing room only, and the people working there are to some extent seeing who needs a drink, but almost the idea of just sort of businesses lying low as well. They're not like trying to push the...
So why are people getting off the streets?
Well, terrorist attack just happened. And let's not be on the streets while guards are, just grabbing up anyone they think might be suspicious.
About less than a minute later, the door opens to a much larger creature entering that ducks its way down, drow down to the waist, but a gigantic spider below that works its way in, and the whole room goes silent. You've at least heard of these. You, Driders, commonly referred to, but you've heard various rumors, from them being servants and slaves to the Queen's Guard to assassins, investigators, to cursed by Loth, to blessed by her. You're not really sure from the culture you're from what they are, but you've heard rumors across the spectrum.
Mm.
But as it enters the room, everyone else in the room, the drow, the people that live here, stops. The room seems to just fall silent.
I also remain silent.
And this drow, Drider, sort of almost makes his way uncomfortably close, walking around, sort of, bent over, hunched down, almost smelling at people's collars, looking people at the eye from an inch or so away, just sort of walking around the room. Clearly people very uncomfortable as it does so.
I keep eating my slugs.
But he does make his way across to the table where you sit.
Is this a meal?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And he puts his nose almost against you.
Nom nom nom.
He continues around the room. As he gets back, sort of having circled the room to the door, he sort of straightens up. And he walks his way over to someone standing by the window. And he sort of just lightly sort of tugs on sort of the front of their shirt. And they just sort of follow as he, with ease, sort of pulls them into the center of the room. And he just sort of lets go as they stand there. And he makes his way over to you. And he sort of grabs you by the front of your shirt.
I walk out with my slug in hand. Nom nom nom.
And he'll grab you, and sort of as he'll get sort of behind you, and he just sort of, with a finger barely touching, no real pressure, but just sort of pressing you out the door. The drow that he's selected, she goes basically without. She just sort of follows with the force, just sort of going as directed.
I think to myself,
What a
what would the
wonderful
old
day.
man do? I strut out of there like I'm leading them. Oh yeah.
And I think, man, this is going to be a great interview.
But he pushes you out, and you are then met with some drow guard outside, who just sort of, grab, sort of by the arm, lead you as well as her to the prison. And the Drider, which now you see probably going in and out of buildings as you are led down to the jails. You probably see at least another half dozen out in the streets, but they seem to be going from building to building, from house to house, sort of investigating their way as guards are outside and leading people down to the prison, where you find almost like a blockage of as they're trying to get all of the people that are selected to go into holding. You find yourself led to, along with the other two people that were in there before this whole mess happened.
All of eyes are rock solid.
Yeah. In fact,
It wasn't me. I did not blow up your library.
How'd you know that?
I can smell the burning pages on the wind. It's a skill I picked up while traveling with the tribes on the western shores of the Onondaga. It's a big river. You ever been over there? Well, probably not. You live down here. But anyway, if you go up there, you go west, you meet an ocean. Big, huge body of water. You cross the water, probably with a boat. Would suggest a boat. It's a bit long to swim. Go
Which I
that
did
way.
once. Different story.
Different story. Anyway, you go that way and you'll eventually reach an island. But you don't want that island. You want to go further west. And you'll eventually come to more land. And on that land is a big river. And on that river is a tribe. And they're really good at smelling things. They taught me that skill.
so you're led up to sort of a courtroom.
They're playing basketball.
Wrong kind of court.
Wrong floor.
These are cultured people. They're playing handball.
Nice.
Anyways, basically you have... Basically there is a chair in the middle of the room. There are a handful of chairs sort of set behind it. And then sort of a raised area on the right side for sort of some audience. And then a seat of importance straight ahead from the chair. Make a luck check.
+3. 6.
6. You are selected to go first into the chair. So you are basically just sort of, as they let the other two people just sort of sit behind, you are, led forward and sat in the front chair.
Sure. Sure.
As the officiate, someone, judge perhaps, but basically half, basically just sort of putting on some sort of robe, basically ceremonial gear and very much disheveled, sort of gets up to her part of the bench, and there is, as you go, there is starting to be a smattering of people going in and filling the seats off to the side. But she sort of sits there, looks to you, and says, "Why are you here?"
I was taken by the guards.
You're like, ooh, I know this one.
And what have you done?
I believe I interceded on behalf of my friend. I was trying to assure them it was all a misunderstanding. He probably didn't do anything wrong. Him over there.
Yes, well, we'll get to him momentarily. As for you, we have...
Favorite color.
The favorite color is red, we know that. We have that you had religious doubts.
I possess no doubts.
It says you were questioning the... She sounds more official than I do. Basically, she expresses the concept that you questioned
The supremacy of Lilith.
basically.
Talking to the man in the gigantic spider robe.
Because you expressed that you did not know that Lilith was the only deity. Basically, it was that she has.
That was all misunderstanding. You gotta understand, this isn't my first language, so I kind of mess up some of the words. What I meant to imply was that my friend certainly didn't make that mistake. Of course, Lilith is the only one true deity on all the...
Persuasion check.
Yes. It's like, I of course know this. I got an 8.
That's really high for you.
14.
That's much better than 8. Don't say 8 if you mean 14. I'm sitting here planning your demise.
It's like, no, it was all just a big misunderstanding. I didn't know they got that from it. My point was that my good friend over there is certainly not innocent of anything he's accused of.
Did you just accidentally throw a "not" in there? He's not innocent of anything he's accused of.
It comes out as pretty as a 14 can make it.
Yeah, might have come out like that, yeah.
Probably slipped that in there because you knew him 5 years ago and how that guy was.
Yeah.
Except,
You
didn't.
When we hung out, 6 years ago, he was a really stand-up guy.
Well, in all honesty, at this point, we need you out of here. Band him. And from the side, basically...
A big band comes out and plays you out of the building.
The guard comes over and basically puts a solitary shackle on your arm, set with 2 red gemstones on either side.
Schwanky.
Basically, it seals around the gemstones. You will see Marshera, Lovelander, the priestess at the Garverin temple, and when she deems that you are fine, she will remove that and you may again leave the city.
Fair enough.
Finger gun on the way out.
Bam!
She may be busy right now, and be careful on the streets. They will show you out.
The streets come in and tell you the way out.
Nope, she pointed, and one of the guards will lead you out. And as you are led out, sort of a different door, you do see sort of almost a line of guards that are escorting prisoners in. Something has gone down out here.
I wave at him as he walks by.
I doubt you see him with your perception.
My perception's 13.
Yeah, I know that.
I wave at him as he walks by.
You are stuck in a crowd.
That doesn't mean I'm not waving.
You're just waving to everyone.
You're arrested on conspiracy.
He obviously knows everyone.
Just waving at the whole crew. Look at how complicit he is.
But otherwise, they let you out, and once outside, they go back to work. You are now find yourself in the.
Well, where's my stuff?
Yes, they would have basically given you that and probably filled it at this point, probably in your arms. They probably gave you a side room to change back into your clothes. But that is a good point.
Well, I have one of the guards. I want to go and make sure they didn't take anything.
You have stuff in your arms.
Yeah. We'll pull it out. We'll go over the inventory.
I don't think they care. Literally, they sealed up a bag in there, and
The seal has
probably the only thing that you do notice is that there is an extra piece of paper in there that seems to have someone's name on it, and it seems to be something vouching for you.
Well, then yes, I have my things.
But otherwise, yes, no, they haven't. What typically would have ended up going into evidence and such just kind of got passed off as the fine, I have too much work.
Fair enough.
We have actual thing to figure out. And Mr. Slug Jerky now has that.
And in this case, I think 13 perception's more than going to spot me.
And it's like, Jimmy,
The way I
but,
dress.
but you're likely
we
not
better
to spot him waving.
get around
No.
to finishing up our business and
No, almost
think
certainly not
about
going to spot that.
moving on from here. Since we keep losing people.
You, as far as you guys are aware, you're now down to 2.
Yeah.
10 minutes after the big spider thing left, check outside the door.
And
Looking
yeah,
up
if you-
and down the streets.
You can do that, but you get the feeling from everyone else in the room that they don't feel like things have calmed down.
Yeah.
So, if you want to be the first one to poke your head out the door, feel free, but you notice people aren't doing
Guys
that.
at a back table point at you, point at the door, and start exchanging money.
I don't go out. I just glance.
You open the door, though? Yeah, no, and you definitely also get some looks, from guards that are just sort of basically stationed in a line every 15 or so feet, waiting as the Driders are continuing to go into buildings.
So you see the giant spider thing still roaming around.
Yeah.
And I duck back in.
Yeah, no, you see giant spider things roaming around. You also see some of them on sides of buildings.
Windows?
That doesn't make any sense. They're huge. When they just fall off.
Magic.
Mm-hmm.
Spiders don't stick because of their size.
They stick because they have the ability to spider climb.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess until the hubbub's finished with, I'll go and study.
At this
room.
point down here, you don't see much of in the way of Driders. You've not seen them yet. You see guards and lines of people down here on this level.
So how big is the band?
It's probably about little over 2 inches wide. It's not very thick. It's probably maybe a quarter of an inch thick. It's sort of a not copper, but that kind of coloration of metal, bronzish, something like that.
Is it magic?
Do you detect magic?
No. I just look at it real hard and use my sorcery to think about it real hard. Does this look like magic?
Is it
Probably. It
Well-
seemed to seal as they pushed 2 gems into the side of it.
Can I still see the gems?
Yes. But essentially you are now on the side have 2 little, gem bunkers. If someone doesn't know what it is already, they may, as far as they're concerned, think it's some sort of bracelet.
I don't think anybody's going to be fooled.
For
People
what?
that don't know.
For one, it's a bracelet without any openings to get your arm back out of, but...
I'm more thinking that this is a get out of jail free card because I was already in jail.
That's an interesting thing. Maybe the guards could, poke it and it kills you.
Hey, what are you talking about? I'm clear. Judge said I was free to go.
I'm on parole. Can't touch me.
That's how that works.
That seems how
I don't think that's how that works.
Double jeopardy.
For all crimes, forever!
If you think about it, in the time that you spent in the city, you might have seen a couple of people around with these. That could mean that, as far as someone sees it, they don't know if you were in there while that happened or before then and you were out in the city seeking some sort of revenge.
I mean, worst case scenario, I've known plenty of guys with one hand.
Let's start spreading rumors that you were actually one of the people negotiated to get out of prison by the terrorists.
Gotcha.
I don't think there's a hostage situation going on anywhere.
They're called buildings.
Yes, hostages.
Give us what we want, or you lose another building. See?
This time it'll be in a more upper class area.
Well, I guess I just head on down and, I don't know, see what's doing in the city now.
You go up the flight of stairs to the Merchant Street, and at that point is when you start to see Driders roaming streets on the side of buildings. So, neat. Did you just make an action like you take a picture? You don't have a camera!
We need to get some of those.
Just neat. Never seen one of those before. That's new.
You
Must be the Festival of the Spiders. I was
walk
talking,
around.
yes.
You also notice, other than guards and people being led away, strikingly few people on the street for this being the Merchant
zero?
Street. Not zero.
Well, then I'm fine.
You do get a very different feel from the ones that are on there. They are moving with purpose. They are not trying to stay out. They...
Well, I'm not doing that. I'm more or less loitering.
You casually spend your time.
I don't know. It
You
seems
may
like
make a luck check.
the perfect time to rob stalls if people left stuff.
I think the guards are watching.
It feels awful trappy.
5.
5. You know, there were a number of sessions where I felt like maybe you were almost like someone else rolling dice.
Don't worry, come back.
You're you again. Hey Ryan, maybe that means you're safe. I felt for a while like he passed it over to you.
He's rolled like a 2 this session.
I rolled a 1 as my first.
Oh, okay.
I rolled a 2, a 3, and an 8.
He's on an upward swing. What are you talking about?
No, this was a 2.
That's a 2.
I rolled a 3 and 8.
Yeah.
And a 2.
You
Look in one direction, just walk into a Drider.
Yeah, no, you kind of...
Oh my.
Probably, if anything, you're walking along, and at a certain point, you find yourself tripping down onto your knees as your legs just got stuck in a tangle of sticky cording that had sort of drifted along to the ground.
Neat.
That fell on my face so cool.
Well, I don't struggle.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing. It probably takes some time, and you kind of have to shift and sit down. But you're more or less able to unpull it as you've stumbled into webbing that drifted along. And being a little more cautious and aware of it, you do notice strands of it hanging from the distant darkness above.
Wait, distant darkness? Isn't there a floor directly above here?
No.
Oh.
No,
Oh.
the city is levels, but none of them are on top of each other.
Oh,
It's
okay.
level.
Tiered.
Yeah, it's
Okay. I thought they were overhangs.
no. The pretty much the one that is over in that one is the tunnel that goes underneath the upper ones from the merchant one to weave out east. But otherwise, no. They're it's sort of just a vast dark, dark beyond what he can see above. So the cavern is very tall here.
Maybe traders just live on the ceiling, and come down when stuff happens.
But
Wearing suits and just...
do you head anywhere? They had not found an inn the last time that you found them, so you have no reason to try, the thing of that. Last time you saw your friends, they were heading in from your encounter, out to the east.
Go back to the exit tunnel.
Okay.
That's the last place I saw him.
Yes. You get to the exit tunnel and you find that it is barred from the city side as well, with
I'm
guards
trying to
standing
go through it.
Yeah, but you find that that there are gates that have been pulled shut. Basically, it doesn't even necessarily seem like a swinging door is always there, so much as there is a fitted set of bars that are kept somewhere that fit into the opening that have been locked onto it.
Well, I loitered there.
And then there are a pair of guards on the other side of it that will inquire why you are loitering there.
This is the last place my compatriots saw me.
Back to Chucky.
Do you have any idea what is going on?
No, I just got out of court.
He kind of rolls his eyes with you coming over there anyways, but... Well then. The city has just undergone a terrorist attack. Find shelter. Find your friends tomorrow.
What? This is sheltered.
Get off of the streets. And you're not welcome in here, this direction anyways.
Well, I'm not trying to leave. I was just going to hang out here. Next to the exit.
Find a place of shelter.
Any suggestions?
If you have friends, go with them. You can find an inn, you can find a tavern, you can find a business. Go inside.
Well, where would be taverns and inns?
Either direction down this street. If you want something fancier, up the stairs and on the opposite side.
What would you suggest?
The first one that you see.
No preference? Really? You live here?
You're such a jerk.
I live here, I don't need an inn.
You don't go to the tavern? You gotta tell me you drink. I'm making fancy talk with you. Come on.
He's making new friends.
I'm not making new friends.
Why'd you have to put that poison dice over here?
Got an 8.
You're walking home.
Whatever charisma that was. Not a great one.
That tavern. That one.
Go that direction, there's a sign that says Munich. Go there.
There's also the Olympics there at one point in time.
And some sort of assassination?
During the Olympics.
Yeah.
The Mossad stuff.
Yeah, another 2. We go to Munich.
Yeah, you find Munich.
Take a plane.
No,
During,
it's sort of just
Oktoberfest.
down the road in a bit, and the sign is easy enough to see, but the door is like sort of very shockingly close to other businesses behind, and you open it, and it kind of goes down a tunnel that seems to be going between two businesses before opening up into the tavern itself on the back end. There's probably about 4 people that are in there, all at chairs, and there are a few open seats available. You can find yourself a table that...
Should have got a Munich way less crowded.
Speaking of which, since we're in the underground, just wanted to say the drill transports that the Technodrome had in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, great. Those things must have been wonderful.
He's not wrong.
Don't encourage him.
But I was going to talk about Mousers.
But yeah, no. Barkeep, sort of a scruffy dwarven lady walks up. Drinking?
What do you have?
We've got liquor, and
What
we've
would you
got...
suggest?
Might as well go with the liquor. And she brings up a tankard of a slightly greenish ale. It'd be, copper.
I don't have any copper.
Most businesses have this thing called change.
Yeah.
I'll give her a silver.
So, alright. No, we'll keep them coming.
No, I want my change.
That's fine. We'll keep them coming.
Yeah. It's not great.
You know what?
What?
Did I ever tell her about the time that I was in the
Let's see if we can break
Kingdom
his streak. Let's see if we can break his streak. We're gonna give you, let's go with, charisma,
4.
Shut
10.
Someone else listens, but she kind of just walks away.
That's fine. I don't blame her. It's not the most exciting story. Basically, just like somebody attacked the walls, but like threw a cow at it, and then nothing happened.
Except for the...
It was impressive they threw a cow.
However, fun fact, cleanup turned into a festival.
So, time passes. And
keep on slipping into the
In your
future.
that's how it goes. Yeah. You find yourself led into a cell where you basically get to probably either sit on the floor or stand with another probably 15-ish people.
Are they bigger than me?
Some of them. You. How tall are you?
Like 7 foot tall.
Make a luck check.
Oh, 8 foot tall.
Yeah.
4.
4? No. No, you are the biggest.
Okay, then I get
That's
the
as
bench.
lucky as you needed with your son.
Then I get a bench.
Okay.
Just move over to the bench and just start sitting down. Hey, over here, and just keep sitting down.
I weigh 340 pounds.
Do you want to find yourself under me? I will sit on your lap. That is fine. Is that what you want? No?
So I understand.
Yeah,
that-
you throw your weight around.
What? I'm in prison now. That's what you do.
Well, you are the biggest, toughest dude in there now. Be afraid of people taking swings at you.
No, I'm the biggest toughest dude. I don't have to be afraid. They do.
The bullet train doesn't stop for anybody on the tracks.
But, yeah, so there's, definitely some chatter about what went on.
In common?
Some of it. As, you know, the guards leave, it sort of does leave the entire place in darkness. You know, basically, once this wing is full and they move on, there is no light left. You know that pretty much everyone else in this cell can see and you can't.
That's fine. I can always get my axe, my shield.
Nothing was taken from you or anyone else.
So you have your little glow rock.
Yeah, you do.
Then I can totally see.
Okay. You would have to pull that out and draw attention to yourself to do so.
I do that.
Okay. And it is fine for probably about 5 minutes until a guard walking by does notice and decides pretty much to just have everything taken from everyone and pull it in a pile, basically leaving you in the room, basically you and everyone sitting around in their underwear. As your stuff is chaotically just tossed out of the cell, not kept in order, not worried about. Axe shield is put off to the side.
You can magically teleport.
Oh, you mean you're trying to do that with magic? You tried to cast a spell in here?
No, I don't need to. I summon it to my hand.
It's just a non-specific class feature of the arcane.
Yeah.
If this was 3.5,
They do
that
not.
would be SU.
They do not come.
I whistle and clap my hands.
Yeah, they don't.
They still make it?
Mm-mm.
Did they give them body oil?
No.
They all got stripped down and are in their underwear. Body oil's the next
So a
logical
guard
step.
really thought to himself, he can see. I should stop what I'm doing and make sure everyone in there is naked. That was your thought process here.
More or less, they walk by and notice you have some source of magic. You have a magical piece of equipment, and because of the way that their security features work, they just took everything from everyone. You probably noticed as you went in a good number of piles of stuff where they've done that to other people, but...
They're way nicer than I am to prisoners.
Well, prisoners.
Every game is
Can I catapult someone?
hog tie.
No. Actually trying to utilize spells
Then
or
they're
magical
killing
features that
themselves.
come from you do not work.
Oh. Then why would the magical item work?
It didn't come from
suppressing
people.
it.
Because it is already cast and it is a constant effect.
It's a suppression.
It's not actually an umph. Yeah, it does not suppress, it prevents.
It's just casting counterspell to everything all the time.
Yeah.
The only thing that I need more is I need to get some sort of like mental destabilizer so we can have magic people blowing themselves up.
Okay, so that's it.
That's it for today, but the rest of you pretty much find your way. Your tavern does not have an inn attached to it, but the people there pretty much knowing they can't go outside, curl up on benches and sleep there.
Haha, I already have a room.
I think at the place where you guys were at, he had a room.
No, I had one too. I already
Didn't you have a room in another building?
we all moved.
Oh, you actually moved to this one? Oh,
No,
yes,
I
you
had a room in another building.
Okay, then you guys are fine, yes.
That's the whole point. Is no rent means I don't have to pay him to sleep there.
No?
Nope, just get 10 beers into you.
Yeah,
10
no.
beers and
And they are not good. And
But they're
the restroom there is not clean.
I've had worse.
Well,
I've done my business in worse.
yes, you've been on ships. It's comparable.
It's like been there, done that.
Don't they just poop over the side? I don't know. I'm not a ship person.
On old ships, no. You
No.
you do it in a bucket.
And then throw it over the side. You don't want to lean over a ship.
I
totally
fall off.
No, I want to poop on that shark. I want to
then-
know that.
No, you put it in a bucket and then you...
Then you get it on the side of the ship, and you have to go and swab it.
No, you just lay
Just
up to the
this
side
bucket.
with a rope.
This bucket.
do a handstand.
Just saying, you really don't have anything better to do but target practice.
Point being, you were recommended a terrible place to go.
Hey, he's got to buy on a guard's salary. Besides, I remember that guard's face. This is now his favorite place. I know it now. He suggested it. Special.
To be fair, you remember space, but they all look alike.
That's
Drow.
Just grab random drow. You're that one guard I talked to. No, I'm not.
Yeah, we're good friends.
I'll take you to your favorite place.
Me and you were good friends.
He finds out that you're taking random guards into it by rumor and gets scared, leaves town.
Turns into a cop shop. Just where all the guards hang out, man.
Invent donuts started up here.
Anyways, in the morning, you guys sort of go back down to the tavern, and things seem a lot calmer. You can, from inside the tavern, you find, wait a minute, I can't forget you, my friend. You thought I was going to forget you. I'm sure you were really upset that I would forget you, huh?
I'm good.
No! You find Ryder eating your bird and your bird friends. You find Ryder eating your bird friends in your dreams as they call out in pain.
The Driders do? Must have been the bones.
Bird friends.
It's the bones, they're crunchy.
To be fair, the raven's made out of blades, so that can't be easy to eat.
But they just tear right through them, shards of bladed metal flying about. Ryder eating your friends, or whatever you consider them. Anyway, so you go back downstairs, and yes, it seems like a much more open sort of environment, people going in and out. Definitely a source of tension in the air, just more in the sense of rumors of, do you think whoever did it ended up in there? But
I guess we go back to the public relations building to meet with your friend again. Tell him we have more of our party in jail.
there's a bigger problem this time. Who is in jail?
The non-talky one.
Yeah.
He's a Goliath that doesn't talk, and that shouldn't be too hard.
Well,
not in locating him, but in...
we could go and check on the status of Erich and see whether or not they've processed him yet.
You wake up with a real sore back.
No, I have a bedroll. I wake up fine, because I just went camping.
You just unroll this in the middle of the tavern.
Yeah? People complain? I'll invite them in. We'll cuddle up on this bed. Come on! Who's going to turn down what is basically a mattress?
You find yourself cuddled up with a scruffy dwarven barkeep? Sure.
I'll take it.
Wasn't that a lady?
Yes.
Yeah. And I described her as scruffy the first time.
Hey, don't hate. Appreciate.
Man's got game.
Payment 1 back scratch.
Mind the bugs.
But otherwise, you get up and sort of there's some people that kind of are venturing to the end of the tunnel out the door and seeming to feel it's safe to return to society. The overwhelming guard presence outside seems to have settled. There are no Drider to be found. There are still the occasional strand hanging from above, sort of drifting in the.
You're gonna say breeze, but
Well, it is breeze. But it's caused as people move through.
The currents.
Yeah. As people move through the street, just so the wind that movement creates enough that.
But yeah, let's go and check and see whether or not the Erich's been processed.
What do you do when you get outside of your place?
Who the hell's Erich?
Well, I can go back to that tunnel.
Eric,
Outside.
Kalidan.
Yeah.
Stoneheaded.
Oh.
Yeah.
You were asking.
Yeah, you find yourself back to the
That's
tunnel, and you
what
find
I'm
that the
like,
barred
what?
gate and the guards that were standing right there are no longer there.
Well, I just hang out at that place. I just loiter a bit. I don't know of any other place because
I will allow you, as you are actively looking for your friends, to make a perception check. That's what I thought, and it's no better than you got anyways. You pass right by each other, everyone, because you're not even looking for him, so you only get your passives, and you would walk right by him. You guys are probably within 15 feet of each other at one point as you go up down to the...
That was a 5.
Yeah, which is less than your passive, which wasn't enough.
had to roll better than a 10.
Yep. But you were looking, so I at least gave you a shot.
See?
It's not the dice.
It works.
So where were you going down there?
We're going to the. We talked to the people at the processing place last time.
Yeah. Basic level, yeah. You find down here, and as you go into the offices, things much busier. There's a lot of just sort of hectic movement. You almost, as you're walking up, you'll find...
Stand behind me, Jimmy. Don't let nobody step on me.
You'll find, some people that are, almost like from the halls every 10-ish minutes, mostly, someone is sort of walking out, bending and just sort of checking over things. They walk out the door.
So people seem to be coming out. So is there a line to get in?
They arrested hundreds and hundreds of people.
Yeah.
The majority of them are almost certainly innocent.
Yes.
But, there's no real necessary lines entering. But if you go sort of to where the things were before, you find just sort of an empty desk, an out sign.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As people are very much moving about the building.
Whatever. Try to flag somebody down while they're moving about.
And they'll kind of turn as though, what do you need?
And he's like, desk missing, looking for somebody, whether or not they've been processed yet.
Probably not. So many have come through.
They were here before that.
They scrunch their eyes as they walk away. Just sort of keeping going, not... They turned, but they didn't stop.
Check back in the afternoon, go do some more reconnaissance?
Yeah, I suppose so. Wait, you still got a sword use, right?
Yeah, this morning.
Did you want to ask where Argyle is?
You have other things you could attempt for right now.
Yeah, Argyle is slightly back burner. We could, use it to find out if any of the actual other corporations sabotaged.
You could use it to find out about Erich or...
Well, it's like
Kalidan.
the thing with the corporations, that's just a job, but whatever. Argyle's something that we actually...
It's personal?
Yeah, it's something that we actually care about. And it's like the money stuff and all that can be put off to the side if we're doing something to help out Kalidan. So I would think that would take more priority than just a particular case.
Yeah, but I don't think we would get anything more interesting versus going south to the lake.
Well, you didn't ask, where he was, did you?
That wasn't about him, was it?
Wasn't it?
No, you were asking about the Chul.
Yeah.
And that...
Yeah, sure, let's go super broad. If we want to go back to the inn and spend an hour and just ask, where is Argyle?
Where is Kalidan's uncle Argyle?
Yes.
Where would we find him right now?
So we head back to the inn, grab a breakfast.
You are passing by them again. You may have, as you look for your friends, another chance to roll.
Yeah, that's what
Better than before, but still worse than your passive. And you pass by within 15 feet yet again.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, considering my manner of dress, they should be getting a bonus.
It's calculated in, and still above our passive.
Yeah, we all do have the little passes.
Yes, you do.
It's because they were never useful.
That's true. Until I had a sheet where I wrote them down, they weren't. For the first time, they are. And for the first time, also, I think they're all terrible.
Not
Charisma,
like rock,
intelligence.
not like
strength.
rocking the 20 plus last time.
Yeah, no.
Everyone's stats are very good right now.
Mine aren't bad.
Those aren't bad.
I'm the worst.
Well, yes.
You were the worst. You're not all that bad
He has
anymore.
17 in strength.
Yeah, he has a 19 in strength.
Yeah.
No, if you count your new item, your stats aren't bad anymore.
No.
That single difference, even though that's not really a needed stat, makes your overall stat list not bad. You have one dumb stat, and otherwise you're pretty good. But your wisdom is just sort of that mediocre line that keeps you from having a good passive. But you make your way back, and you ask, and what did you ask? You concentrate on your question.
Where is Kalidan's uncle, Argyle, currently?
In a pit he rests, deep in the dark, beyond that which you have seen.
And remembering the old ones, we got a confirmation of he's alive, kind of, before?
Yeah.
Well, he's off in a pit somewhere. Somewhere we haven't been, specifically.
Well, and then we'll have to try out. So, while we're still waiting to...
Now we can investigate afterwards.
Yeah, and say, that's actually something that I wanted to bring up is, so they would have had to be transporting rust monsters.
Mm-hmm.
So, not going to be using metal cages. So
could just put them in wooden crates.
Right. So that's what I'm thinking, is that we might be able to, if we can find either... Because, when we went to go and visit the lady at the farm, we saw how the creatures were being kept.
Mm-hmm.
So we might be able to find out whether or not any of these corporations might have one of those cages from her animal farm on the premises that's not made out of metal. That might give us an indication. Otherwise, we're going to have to start asking neighbors or looking into financial records.
Well, I'm going to check out the... Because I hit the two corporations. I haven't hit either of the stores yet, right?
Correct.
And I'm going to go check out the stores and see what I can glean from them first. I'll keep an eye out for any weird wooden cages, but
Okay.
I believe that's more your side of the investigation. Mine's talking up the people, see what I can get, or looking through their stuff.
Yeah, if you go around and you happen to be able to collect any kind of whatever time frame of their financial records, get like a copy of it or something if you're capable of that.
If they keep them.
Yeah. I'll go in and I'll start asking the farmer lady's neighbors to see whether or not they have any information that they could give us about a job going down at a certain time.
Well, good luck. Meet back here tonight.
Yeah.
That puts them walking past you again.
Oh, yeah. Third time's charm, right?
17.
So eventually you find them walking by, talking sort of as they walk through the street. Right in front of you. Just like 10 feet up. They're right there.
Well, I walk on over. My friends, did I ever tell you the story about
you
how
get
I
out of
was
the jail?
arrested and then escaped prison?
Wait, did you actually escape?
No, they let me out.
Oh,
Okay.
The answer was I was innocent and they let me go.
Yeah. Nice bracelet.
Yeah, supposed to keep it clean and see. I haven't tested that.
I could take 10 minutes and take a look at it.
I'm not against that.
Mm.
You just sort of sit up on the side of the side and you go back
Start doing our character in the middle of the town.
Oh.
the day after some sort of explosive.
No. We'll go somewhere private.
Okay. Back to the inn.
Fill you in on that.
They walk right past the Munich Tavern.
Oh, yeah.
They don't even go there.
Fill you in on the Dryaders that came by and picked everyone
Yeah,
up.
saw them.
They picked up Kalidan and brought him in. You're hoping they just... When we went and checked, they were just releasing people, so assumably they should just let him go. He did not, in fact, blow up the building.
And yeah,
We were with them.
They were having a hectic runabout.
Yes, I have to meet a priestess.
Well, while you were away, we got a new job with the Minor Mine Code to find out who sabotaged their mine. We're thinking it's one of their 4 competitors. We're checking them out.
Yeah. Also, they kind of inferred that we could set them up. While I tend to prefer to make honest money, there is sort of a when in Drow society, do as they do.
It's legal.
If you don't get caught.
Mm-hmm.
That has never been said in game. No one in this society has actually said
Well,
that.
I certainly did the same game.
I'd just like to point out, not getting caught is like the definition of legal. As an individual with a chaotic alignment.
Chaotic good alignment.
Hey, I got
They attacked a
scruples.
small business owner.
I got scruples.
Yes, but we're theoretically attacking smaller business owners.
No, they own major mines.
I thought the two storefront ones weren't going to be as big as minor mines.
You haven't actually been in there, but
True. But yes, how we investigated one, it seems fine. The other one seems in financial straits, so leaning towards that one. And I'm going to investigate the other two today, and Ryan was going to Henwick. And Henwick was going to check out
Temperature.
Sucks to you, nerd.
See, you need to turn that AC up. It's a little warm in here.
no, it's lasted much longer than usual.
Well, usually it's been lasting until the card filled up.
No, only a little bit one.
Henwick's out looking at where they sell exotic rust monsters and talking to a lady, but she said she didn't have any more information for you.
I wasn't going to talk to her. I was going to talk to her neighbors and see if they might have any information. People see stuff, you know.
Possible?
Now, they might not say anything, or might not have thought anything of it, but we might be able to piece together some stuff. Because we can't follow, presumably, the path that they took going around the city. Or we might be able to go back to the minor mine and suss something out there.
So the thing got blown up was the library, right?
Yes.
And I was told that was I given a time I was supposed to go to the temple?
Not really, no. You were told that there might be some
Backlog.
some backlog that might be busy, but otherwise that you basically had to go there before you could leave. And
I don't know.
So just lean over. Who's Loth?
She's the spider goddess of the drow.
And what's she all about?
Basically having an iron fist over drow society, being a weaver goddess. Well, then I don't know if I'd actually know that. Inhabitant of the demon web pits. Well, it's yeah, no.
Well, how much would he know? As I asked for, like, who's Loth?
but yeah, in general,
So I can go and fumble my way through? No, I'm totally into Loth.
spider, drow, goddess,
And she's essentially the
only at times.
what is it? The absolute deific ruler of all of drow society.
Yeah.
Well, where can we meet up? Because I need to go and visit a temple.
We've been making our base here.
On the street?
No,
in
right
this
now
inn.
you're in the
We're
end.
in the inn.
In the
I
Dragon
think he's getting
Cauldron.
ready to cast a ritual.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, well, you can head to that. If you want to, you can recheck with the second place I went and maybe make yourself as a businessman and investigate, how they would get ahead of their competition, and maybe you would invest with them if they have a solid plan.
Although you are also very aware that if someone does recognize the bracelet you're wearing, maybe not the best time.
Nah, that just means that's credentials. This is the kind of guy who, is willing to get on the wrong side of the law.
No.
Or you could just put your robe down over the bracelet.
You go the opposite way and wear even more jewelry, so it just blends in.
There are people that do that. There are people that basically have decided, I'm not getting away with that, and I'm not subjecting myself to this. I am fine just to live in the city. I didn't go out into those dangerous areas anyways. There are a good number of people that just sort of say,
I live here.
I'm here. I lived here anyways.
Oh, look, I'm now a citizen.
So yeah, if you get a chance, hit up that. And I'm going to go hit up the other
Anyway,
side.
so what do you do?
I cast Detect Magic.
It is magical.
Alright. Am I able to determine any of its properties?
What does it say you can do with detect magic?
Detective school.
That is all you get, right?
Yes.
It is abjuration and it is divination.
Uh-huh. Well, I tell you that and I give you a vague idea what both of those mean.
I'm a sorcerer. I know what magic means.
You're a sorcerer, do you?
You get to do it. I know what magic means. You have evocation and not evocation.
Mm-hmm. Well, these are two not evocations, and he said,
Yes. The protection, not evocation, and the seeing things, not evocation. I get you.
yes.
So,
I had the temple.
He's like, okay, and break. We'll meet back here. Head to the first of the storefront.
Is by first meaning nearest,
Yes.
and then you're heading out to check with neighbors.
yeah, I'm gonna go and speak with people at the surrounding farms and
When
see.
you find yourself to that exit that had been open just freely before, you find a line that you have to wait in to get out, as they basically ask some questions.
No.
Just basically checking on some things as they go. It's a tighter security actually leaving.
I see the line and turn back.
Okay, so you see the line and you choose not to go.
Yeah, I
Okay.
see the line and turn back.
Where do you go?
Okay, let's see. Can't go to the library. It kind of blew out.
Yeah, go to the library. It'll be fine.
Just walk up there and go, what happened? I wanted to return my books. Do I get to keep these now?
I'm going to go to one of the government buildings.
Okay, so you got it done there.
Yep.
Also, score. We've completely split the party.
You have completely split the party. That is true.
Now let's everybody get individually arrested.
Yes. Just a continuous chain of arrested. You have to wait for them to get up and arrested.
And eventually your cell is reached. You notice a little bit before then that basically, maybe the next cell over was just sort of lined up and led somewhere. And probably a couple hours after that, someone comes to your cell, and they're pretty much shouting, all right, get ready, get up. And they line you up and lead you out. Basically, you are given a simple cloth robe as you walk out, as is everyone else.
Am I instructed to close it?
You are
Maybe
not
I
given
can-
any instructions, and in fact, some people do not bother actually putting it on, but walk with it if they don't care.
I could probably moose and knuckle my way out of this.
I'm not going to think too much on that. I'm just going to move on to you are led to a courtroom. And you know what? I was going to give you a little bit more time, but right now I'm moving on.
No, that's fine. You've only given me 7 minutes this entire session. I've been keeping track.
Okay, to be fair.
That's more than he got all last session.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's worth like 7 XP.
You're right. I better get. You find your way into the business, and yeah, that seems more or less to be operating as normal. You walk in, and there are selections of metals, as well as raw, as well as some in the refined form, sort of on shelves, sort of behind a bit of glass, and a counter where someone says, "Ah, good day. How may I help you? I've not. Are you looking to set up an account?"
I'm here looking at different metals for different projects. I was hoping to get some information about what would be best and maybe how I could set up an account.
Certainly.
So I'll go ahead
What kind of projects are you working on?
mostly weapons. Looking for weapons grade metals.
Oh, of course.
And just small talk my way and what kind of services do they provide and all that. It's like, what does it take to set up an account? How are they doing? And all that. Sure.
As far as they're concerned, they're doing just fine. They're gonna we have regular metals coming in. We have plenty of back stock. No concerns there. Basically, to some extent, you're not from the position you're giving yourself. You are not positive if you are getting accurate information or sales pitch information, but they are definitely selling themselves. They can refine the metals if you for the fee if needed. If you're just pretty much wanting to take something and work with it, if you have the facilities to do that yourself, then you can get a discount from just basically taking the metals right from the mines. There are, fees and setup that you can do if you need things delivered to your facility. They do check, is your facility located in city, or are we needing...
It would definitely be outside of city.
Okay, and so they ask sort of, where are you located?
Down to the south, I believe. There's a clearing down there. We're setting up shop and looking to set up a trade post down there.
Oh, they're expanding then there. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes, get all of his trade talk and it's like...
But yeah, essentially, and you can find some, we have, basic weapons, irons and such. If you're trying to do more intricate things, then of course we have things like that can also pair well with metals. We have some local shops in town that utilize that very, very expertly. But yeah, you sort of get that kind of feel.
We'll say thank you for your time. I am, you could probably guess, setting up a new shop. I'm going to shop around and look at the competition. So far, I've heard about. I name off the other two companies.
The ones I haven't named any of them. I'm aware of that. Yep.
Yeah, that's fine. It's like, obviously, you wouldn't say anything good, but what have you heard about them, and why are you better than them?
And which places did you name?
The two bigger corporations that had offices versus the storefront, because I haven't got there yet.
Okay. With both of those, they can flat out just say, as far as an actual personal level of working with you, we're much more likely to do that. The ability for us to deliver things to your shop, if you want to be able to keep working, as opposed to having to make a trip out to the mines to collect your purchases, and they also do advise with the one that does well. With the one that seemed like it was doing better internally, and as far as they're concerned, I'm not sure how much you've spoken to them, they rarely work with outside companies. They are almost completely internal use. Okay. So as far as that, you would need, some great negotiation as far, for a smaller business, they're probably not even going to talk to you.
I do ask, you said you have transport, what kind, just wagons or stuff? What kind of protection do they have? Because I depends on shipment to get lost. I've seen some really weird things
have happened, but nothing is on your end. If we're transporting it, it doesn't count. It's not what you're getting until it arrives to your door.
I ask them for. Okay, that's good. Do they have any special protections from things that are especially dangerous to metals, like things that eat them or rust monsters, stuff like that? If they have special ways of protecting against those.
You found yourself into needing a roll, my friend. Yes. Deception. It's going to be deception.
I believe that's 2. Yeah, 2 and 4, so 6, 10.
That's hardly a concern in these areas. Really, larger creatures that would attack the people moving it are things that we are more worried about.
Well, that's good to know. It's just I've heard tales of them from far away. I knew there's something that can, be very dangerous to metals.
Yes.
Insight check. Does he seem really weirded out by talk of rust monsters? Like he has a guilty conscience. 10. So, 11.
He does seem rather weirded out that you named a specific creature, yes. You're not sure if he has a guilty conscience or not, but maybe.
I think it would be odd, just from the standpoint of rustbusters are dangerous to specifically metals, and he's in the metal transporting business. It seems something you would worry about. They live underground. But yeah.
Furthermore, when hired by the Minor Mine Company to clear out its mine of bugs, they were unable to name the things that were in there. They just knew that they were bugs.
So, yes, Minor Mine Co. Not as well informed as I'm guessing Ryan was the one who specified their rust monsters.
Yep.
Yeah, I knew it.
And he would probably know it specifically, not from actually having seen them, but from some arcane research that utilizes them. Because there are other things that they are more likely to be used for, that they would be likely to, be in small breeding capacities for to be used. But yeah, it's not generally for...
Yeah, it's really important because later on, when we have to do monster husbandry, we're going to have to figure out how to deal with some of these creatures.
So, basically, do I find it odd that I actually knew what a rust monster was, or did I have to describe it to him?
You're not sure. Bless you.
Thank you.
Largely in that, with rust monsters as they are, the name kind of describes it for them. It's like, maybe he knew what they were, maybe he just listened to the words I said and inferred correctly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to say, after shopping around a bit more, I shall be back in touch if I choose your company.
Stop calling them rust monsters, start calling them corrosion beetles.
But, yeah, so you make your way out. And you headed down to the legal district there.
Yep.
What do you do? Sort of, I've already described sort of the state that things are in down there.
Yeah. Say I wanted to go and look and talk to somebody who would be able to get me financial information or something to do with taxes.
Does this society have a very complex tax code and litigious records?
You don't really know at this point.
I'll ask.
You're
people
able
if I need
to ask
direction.
around for basically, tax office, and yes, you're more or less directed to probably a very well secured and very stable building. As far as the Chaos Mini of the buildings going, you walk in and there is just a pair of people sort of sitting at a desk, a very small lobby, sort of some, barred off area behind that leads into whatever back parts of this building that was rather large is. Yes?
Hi, I'm Henwick private investigator. I was hoping that you'd be able to help me out. I'm doing a independent investigation into potential issues with financial sort of money movement or tax evasion.
Fraud.
It's like, or fraud of some sort. But I'm just doing my own independent investigation on the situation. Would you be able to get me the last couple of years records for mining co, including just all of them?
All 5 or just the 4?
I'm including even the minor mine co and
Yeah.
the other ones that were mentioned.
So all 5 of the ones that you're aware of. Do you have any legal claim to the records?
It's like what would be the process of going and
you could purchase it, or you could have deeds directed from the individual companies providing that.
Well, I'm looking for whatever the government information, anything that's either publicly available or something. If I need to buy my own copies for you to
basically for us to gather the records is either they must have deemed it as businesses, they can do so, or you would need to basically be buying that information. We will sell their tax information to you, but other than that, it is private information unless you pay us, is kind of the feel that you get to that.
Just like the real world.
And it's like, yeah, sure, I'll pay for it. Also, question.
You would probably first ask how much that is.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, well, yeah, I'll go ahead and ask.
Yeah, but for the past year, it is going to be a gold for each company, and then for each year past that, it incurs an additional 5 gold on top of it that stacks. So if you want the past 2 years for one company, that would be 7 gold, and then so for 5 companies, you can do math.
Yeah. So,
If you just want the past year for each of them, it would be 5 gold total.
okay. And he's like, I'll pay the 5 gold also.
Yeah. They're like, and we should have that within the hour.
Thank you.
For just having to pull up that.
Just as an aside question, in the event that I do find signs of tax evasion or fraud or any of that, is there any sort of...
If you bring it to our attention, we will we will certainly work with you to make sure things are...
Is there any compensation for pointing out discrepancies?
It depends on the individual situations and
Okay.
how and what end result it comes to.
Okay, I understand.
You would probably also guess that they, depending on how if they just buy their way out of the problem, or
Look, you dodged taxes. Well, here's the money to cover that. You got me. Plus a little bribe money. It never happened.
yeah, that's largely what it's going to be. It's definitely a for-profit, department here. And so you'll come back, or you're going to wait. You're going to come back your hour later. Are you doing anything?
Let's see. Do I have anybody that be willing to talk just for me to pick their brain about the companies?
Like out in here?
Yeah, in legal.
No, they seem to kind
Then I
of
wait.
just wait.
I'll just wait.
You find yourself headed to what was that? I didn't name that. The Garvander Temple.
Something very, very fancy.
Yes. And so yes, and it in fact looks at it as you go up to that upper level. What was that? The Queen's Eyes. The same level that the corpse's cart is on, and sort of head the opposite direction, sort of as if you were going to there. You find sort of a series of areas, and you find also basically an area where, if you ask around for where the temple is, you are kind of directed to what end it is. And you end up at a certain point just sort of having to wait in a group as people are allowed coming through traffic one direction, and then you the other, as a large portion of the street in front of the iridescent halls is all blocked off. Research. Here you actually do see a few other Drider that are still in the area, are here at the scene of this, and you can definitely see walking right by it. I'm guessing you pay some level of attention?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not downright ogling.
Yeah, and there are other people that, as they pass, are doing the same thing. You almost get the feeling that some of the traffic going back and forth here might be relating to people that are wanting to look at this.
Yeah.
They try and keep you moving, but other than that, there's nothing visually blocking it. And you can tell basically from ash and so any fires have been put out, but it seems that it was a series of several explosions that took down this large building.
Bombs the library. Come on.
Seeming almost as if designed to destroy the entire contents within.
The problem with the bombs is somebody didn't go, shh.
But you make your way down, and once past there, you get to a very elegant and intricate temple, sort of carved from stone, that sort of almost the top of it seems to go up into, make its way up to the darkness, at least beyond your vision of 60 feet. So it's a tall sort of temple building, large doors, and one sits probably just a few inches ajar.
Well, that's an invitation if I ever saw one.
It is.
Now I walk in.
Yeah, no, and you sort of push your way in, and the door sort of settles, almost like settles, like its natural position is at that just sort of open spot. It would almost have to have, force push to actually get it to shut fully. And there is a large, sort of almost cathedral-like sort of thing here, but very, very little in the way of actual, it's not like there are seats as if some sort of congregation could be had, but nothing going on at the moment. But a number of women in priestly robes, various sort of colors, blacks, reds, yellows,
Purple.
Purples, yes.
No.
And
Orange?
no,
No purple, orange, green, gold filigrees?
nope.
I am unique.
However, there are some with similar designs.
They just don't have the eye for color that I do.
But yes, and it doesn't take but maybe a minute before one will come and greet you. You know, good day.
I'm here to see Priestess. What's her face?
Mashera Lovelander.
Yes.
And how do you
hear she's absolutely enchanting.
How do
Just must meet her. Also, I've been ordered to by the courts.
Yeah, it's like almost how do you gesture that? Because if they see the bracelet, they'll be like, well, you may take a seat. We'll let her know you've come to here from back.
I take a seat.
Yeah. And yeah, there's plenty to choose from. Do you just sort of sit in the first seat there at the back, or do you head towards the front where there seems to be things carved up near the walls where...
Sit. Let's do some prayers. Let's
Mashera
try and pray as well.
Lovelander.
See if I get anything back. Polytheism's a thing.
Yeah, no, it is.
I'm traveling your lands. Please don't smote me.
Hey, more or less, she sounds like the big kowtowing type. I kiss feet.
Giant spider feet.
Well, let me climb on walls.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuade God!
15.
21.
21.
It's a good persuasion.
And eventually, a woman in sort of purple and black robes, and with warm skin, almost
She's on fire!
almost the air of colors you recognize above a fall, sort of comes and sort of sits next to you. An elven lady, but no drow. She is, almost oranges to her skin tone in the fall colors, and sort of a shorter, very friendly look to her face.
Mm-hmm.
Gotten yourself into some trouble.
Well, I wouldn't consider it trouble. A minor misunderstanding, a hiccup on the road.
What do you know?
Oh
Oh my God! Why is she talking to you like that? That's how she would respond.
Oh, I know a great many things.
The one time you're supposed to be talking, you completely clam up.
Not climbing up. You gotta be careful. These are delicate negotiations.
The classic don't ever give anything away that you shouldn't, never volunteer information, lie.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I know a lot of things. I don't even know who this lady is.
Deny.
Well, you have been sent here to see that I will let you go, and that I deem you too lawless a pro.
Oh my, I figured this would be a much more into deal, but I thank your approval.
We will determine. Would you like to talk here, or do you prefer a secluded chamber?
I have no preference. I don't shy away from the judgments of others.
Well,
Just smoked by a giant spider.
Ah!
Just from out of the shadows up above Spirecraft, he goes back up.
Yes, to your bed chambers, like you said.
Just fighting sculptures for the rest of the game. Why are they always in front of me swinging?
where do you travel from?
Oh, all over. Most recently from the service. But before that, I was quite the traveler.
Really? Under what guidance?
Well, none really. Wind, whim, really wherever I just went to. The whole reason I came here was because I've never been here before.
Now, I see your attire
I do like it. I must say I'm quite taken with the fashion.
When did you first hear of Loth?
How long was I in prison?
Oh, was it 3 days, probably? Yeah.
3 days? About 4 days ago.
And what have you heard of her?
She's powerful, into spiders, and a lady.
And the undisputed god of the elves.
You say Underdark.
Maybe. Yeah.
I say those 3 things in that order. Gotta say, I'm a fan of at least 2 of those things.
Spiders being one of them. Given his outfit, you can't deny it's spiders.
And which is the other one is he like? Ladies.
Yeah, you can always take and leave power. Not an ambitious man.
But she will spend some time.
Sit a while, listen about law.
Yeah, basically she goes through time, and basically she'll go over things, and at certain points, then she'll re-question you about information. She is basically making sure that you are managing to memorize the information that she is providing, at the very least.
Who weaves your
Well,
fate?
welcome to
and-
your circumstance bonus to law-related religion checks.
Who's the weaver of the loom of fate?
But she'll go over that for a while. She will also paint a much kinder image of Loth, a very motherly image, a very parenting and caring image than you might get from pretty much a lot of outsiders. Even many very devout drow will not sort of paint almost that image, which he very much gives
Well, yeah,
a
this,
mother.
this is brainwashing.
No. More importantly, this isn't coriander. Loth actually loves us and gives a crap.
Yeah, no, it is a loving.
Point out that objectively, that's mostly true.
Yeah, it is a loving parent that desired great things. But she's actually going to go into some things. You have elven heritage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
Sort of. I mean, kind of, technically.
You're a half-elf!
Technically.
As you listen to her, your skin starts getting darker.
yeah, Corellian may say that means you have half a soul, but we believe no such thing.
Well, who's Coraline?
You say that, but you would know.
Well,
So
that's
that
like-
would be a deception check if you want to say that. You would
It's like,
know.
No, I mean, I never got into that Coraline stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not my kind of dude. I mean, he doesn't even have 2 of the 3 things I like.
No. You follow Farlangan. I know that.
Well, you know, only mostly.
Polytheism.
Loth knows that. You spoke with her.
Well, I mean, it's a temple.
You kind of get a feeling almost that she has a respect that you would do that. You also get a feeling that she has a very close tie for what you just asked for as you walked in and spoke to yourself there.
Hey, I don't lie. Sometimes.
But yeah, you definitely get a feel like either she was listening in as you from a distance, or
Hey, just because
Giant elf
just
ears.
because she's peeking at my hand doesn't mean I stop bluffing.
yeah. But yeah, she'll spend some time with that.
Hey, we'll chat it up. She's single?
And you can ask that when we get back to it if you want.
Oh,
just
my
leave,
turn.
just
Oh,
leave
it is.
Just leave that in there as we talk
You
about
get-
Rolf, motherly.
Yes, you do find that she is single. You don't find it out in a tone as if she's interested.
You do, in fact, not get her number.
Loth, when are you going to get married?
Come on! You already know that you need children. Where's them grandbabies?
She'll find out.
All
in a
those
few
egg
months, yes.
sexist spiders.
Anyways, you gotta find your way into a courtroom. Unlike him, there is a full sort of the side chamber off to the side is full of people, just sort of judging down upon you. In addition to the actual judge, And unlike him, where the other two people that came in with him had chairs behind him, it's standing room only, as the whole row of 16 of you basically stand behind.
That's good. I can't do interpretive dance if I'm sitting.
You get a feeling that you may want to take the situation seriously.
That's the only way I have to communicate.
You could also mine for writing utensils.
Which is still interpretive dance.
True.
But you see them going over questions, and there are at least a few people ahead of you. There are too many people for you to have randomly ended up in front. Besides,
I
you're
listen
probably...
to the questions being asked, if I can understand them, and begin planning out the interpretive dance required.
You also,
You decided to arrest the guy who can't talk. This is hardly my fault.
you decided to be cheeky!
I was eating! How am I to know that we're supposed to take this, thing more seriously than continuing doing what we're doing and sitting still?
It's like, stove's hot. What? The stove's hot. I touched it. It's your fault I got burned. You made the stove hot.
No, I was sitting still. I didn't realize I had to be like,
You weren't
I
in
am
awe.
robot. I am robot man.
You weren't in awe and fear of the giant spider monster thing.
No, he's not a bull. The only thing that's giant and kicked my ass was a bull.
I'm guessing the dredgers are what are created when they choose not to get married.
But yeah, you hear some questions, and you need a wisdom save as you take the chair.
There's no chair.
No, there is a chair.
Oh.
There is a single chair for the person currently being questioned.
15, 16, 17.
17?
No, wait, no, 16. That's a 1.
That's actually close enough. I have to check. Hold on. Yeah, sure, we'll use this one. Yes. You may choose your level of honesty.
Welcome to Zone of Truth.
They are also aware that not necessarily everyone has failed it, but but it's a good starting point, obviously.
Zone of Truth, completely useless. Yeah, they could lie. You don't know if they are.
I forget if it was or not, but they're just generally going to assume that you could, but
They're just trying to tweak the percentage.
yeah. You would rather more people be telling the truth. And they begin to question, and they will, just as they did with each person, and you kind of got the feeling for that. The first question is, why have you been brought in here?
Yeah, you know whether or not somebody succeeded or failed. The zone of truth.
Yeah, I forget.
I started him on eating, and then spider, and then angry eyebrows.
It wasn't angry. I also did attack.
You may make a luck or a persuasion check.
Choose wisely.
Luck gets 1, persuasion does not. 16.
16. One of the people still waiting behind you that has now spent a night with you in a cell. He's mute.
One at him and go,
And you were given, basically, paper. Your trial takes longer than anybody's. Because a question is asked, you were given time to write, it is handed to the judge, and it is passed around 50 people.
I sit there quietly smiling.
As long as you basically just sort of behave yourself, they will put up with the time, and I'm sure anyone that's sort of watching the outside are like, oh, something's going down. The stream of, steady stream of people.
It's taken forever.
Because basically what would normally be about a 7 or 8 minute trial takes close to an hour. But you did nothing wrong.
That's right, and I moose knuckle my way out of this trial.
And you are,
Why moose knuckling?
Because I'm not wearing the robe.
Oh, okay.
no one really seems to be paying attention. You also notice that there are plenty of people that are...
Yes, but are those people 8 feet tall?
not many of them.
They're unimpressive.
Well, you might be a little impressed by some. Once declared innocent, you are led back down into the cell area to get to collect your belongings. First, I need you to make a luck check.
13.
13 is enough for all of your things to be there. You may make a sleight of hand check if you would like to take more than your things.
Natural 20.
What are you reaching for? Gear, money pouches? Are you?
Is there any particularly nice axes that are, one-handed?
Yeah, something relatively simple. Yeah, there's probably at least one other,
like other battle axes in particular.
There's probably a hand axe that's fairly nice, but not another battle axe other than yours.
Alright, it doesn't have to be an axe. Are there like nice one-handed swords?
There's
stuff that looks magical.
Nothing that looks magical. Pretty much, yeah. You kind of get the feeling no one else in your cell owned anything magic. Just from your kind of
feel surprised at your rock.
Yeah. But there are things that were well crafted. There are other pouches, whether it be component pouches you may have seen places, or whether it be
Coin pouches?
Coin pouches. There definitely are things tied to other belts there that were sort of tasked in the group that you think you might be able to sneak with the single guard that's half paying attention while he's just telling you, grab your stuff.
This full plate armor that cost $1,500.
Well, I actually have half plate.
Yeah.
So yeah,
he has the nicest armor there.
As I'm strapping on the half plate, kneeling in front of the entire pile, some of those pouches of monies.
You grab two other pouches that appear to be coin pouches. Obviously you don't have enough time to really investigate, but yeah, you can grab a couple others and grab your things, and when you sort of straighten up, I'm good, they will lead you out. I need a rock. And yeah, so you find yourself back out in the streets in front of there. By the way, were you waiting inside or outside?
I was waiting inside.
Okay. After about your hour, someone does come with basically what is a thick crafted but paper sort of folder that basically has the 5 sheets in it that seem to have been hand copied from something of basically tax ledgers. It is overly simplistic, but you're not probably too surprised. Your character's probably aware of it.
It's your turn for it to bug you. I was trying to catch it on mine. I caught one, but there's another one.
Yeah.
I believe we've caught 3 so far.
Yeah. But,
I was talking about my scores. This is not a competition between all of us.
the important part is that he's doing the best. Anyways, and it's gnats. If we seem to be going like that, it's a gnat fly.
Also, I gave everyone mushrooms, so not gnats.
Overly simplistic. And as far as you can tell, based on it, it is basically an individual, and there, while not a signature, you get notes on basically who assessed value. Because it basically seems that at the 2 points in the year which this was sent out, that taxes were collected, that someone was sent by, assessed company value, and you find out how much they collected. You can definitely tell Minor Mine is the lowest of the companies on here. It is definitely the smallest of them. You can tell that the company that he mentioned was financially poor, while basically the last tax collection had half of the value assessed as the previous. Is still bigger than one of the shops and bigger than the Minor Mine Company, but it's just a drastic drop. Basically in the last year they've seen some sort of plummet. The other company down here seems very stable. You also notice that their tax record is a lot more complex. They seem to have a lot less than just mineral things. They seem to basically have a series of owned other companies that are under them. None of those are specifically named, but it's basically showing, basically assets and... either of the other two just sort of shop-based ones are kind of just sort of mid-range. They're going by.
Alright.
But yeah. Taxes basically seem to completely be someone that goes in, assesses, makes a judgment, says you owe this much money, and collects it.
And I have the whatever, the agent's signature.
No, you don't get the signature. You have basically the name and dates and such for who had done it, even though it was copied by someone else.
Okay.
Because basically someone hand-copied from the original notes the information for the sheet.
Alright,
So it's not actually signed, it is now basically a handwritten, spelled out version of who had signed the original.
Looking at real quick, the guy who handed it off to me,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, would you be able to direct me to the names on the paper? Any of these people available for me to have a
Actual question with?
interview?
Almost exclusively no. If they happen to come to you when collection time comes, they will name themselves, and of course during that time to be asked, but other than that, there is no direct access to them. There is no basically, we are not able to identify who they are when unmasked.
They have their names written down, but they're wearing masks all the time? What?
Well, that is the name that they have as a collector.
Oh, that's their nom de occupation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basic, and they are proper names. They are basically, but yeah, you kind of get the feeling talking to them a bit that there is almost a second identity that they assume as a collector.
Sure. This is Inspector 31. Gotcha.
Yeah, but essentially they are given individual names, and they are, yeah.
Because tax collectors, in a city full of people who feel assassination is morally right, tax collectors want to hide their identity.
Hey man, I'm a good person. I pay my taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody who happens to have any sort of central information that I could speak with?
What do you mean?
Just anybody who would have... Because these were all assessed to see how much they would pay.
Mm-hmm.
Would there be anybody who could actually give me a rundown on the estimate process for these companies?
Any business can basically give you,
the government does the estimation of the worth of the business in order to determine how much taxes they're collecting.
Yes.
I was looking to speak with a government agent that could give me the rundown of their process.
And he'll basically do so. He's like, we get assessed as well. So, you can talk to any business. Here's what they come in and do.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and take these and go back to the...
Yes. Yeah, I always do.
I'll go back to the tavern, wait to meet up with Jimmy and see if he's got anything.
Okay. And you were going to your second place as well?
Mm-hmm.
You make your way there. Not as nice of a storefront kind of thing, but still has a bit, almost like a feeling like, rather than being set up almost as like a showroom up front, it just sort of goes straight back into where some business work is kind of being done. But someone will kind of throw it. I need something.
Yeah, I'll roll with the same line. I'm investing, looking to set up a contact with a minor company to, provide ores to a store I'm thinking about setting up in the south. Can you give me your business, bitch?
And they will. They don't seem to have quite the amenities. They seem to have a little bit lower prices. They do not offer pre-processed materials. They will only deliver from basically things from the mine.
Mm-hmm.
The jump for delivery from self-collection is more significant, though would probably be cheaper if you were going to collect yourself than the other company.
They have longer lead times.
Yeah, so ask him about that. Try to smoothly lead into get his feeling on his competition, what he has to say about them.
For the most part, he gives very similar business remarks kind of thing. He will also know about the other shop, about how much of a shyster the freaking guy that runs the the protection department on them. They're not just trying to guard their stuff; they're trying to swipe from us the whole way around.
Oh yeah, no. Once I get him going, I try to get some more out of here.
And you can definitely get him badmouthing how much of he's like, I don't necessarily think the guy that runs the place knows much about what's going on, but they're definitely. Basically, he seems to have a personal vendetta against someone that runs a specific department within that one. But yeah, he'll rant on it.
So there is a head of security or something that he thinks might do some other, dirty work behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, he'd do whatever it takes. He's trying to get everything for himself. I'm sure he gets.
So yeah, thank him for his time. It's like, get a good feel. It's like, okay. After that, I'll head on back to the inn. My feeling is we'll have to investigate again against this individual. See if we can find out some more about him. Otherwise, we could probably, if we're just being shystery, point it to them or the major failing company, but I kind of feel it might be this guy.
If you try gearing questions into that topic, he doesn't think that he would. He wouldn't think that. He would think that he would be stealing product from him, but he doesn't necessarily think he's going to do anything to destroy anything. It's very much and obviously this is a guy that has crafted his own idea for some distant individual, and there's some sort of personal issue he has. But he definitely paints him as the picture of someone that's like trying to get personal gains from his smaller position in a larger company.
So he wouldn't bother destroying another company's product because that doesn't get him any.
Yeah, he's like, he wouldn't necessarily think that, but he's like, he's not tried anything like that against us. He's just, basically, if our paths run at the same point, he's going to pretend that we're trying to do something to him and set guards on us. We've had to defend against him as much as we have, against, whatever lurks in the darkness.
Yeah, definitely get his name.
The name of the give it. It's like, we filed complaints.
Head on out.
Head back to,
I'll head back to the first company and see if I can arrange a meeting with him. It's like,
no, he doesn't work out of the office. He's out in the field. So.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's like, given your specialty in delivery, I'd want to talk to the road manager.
We could definitely, if you set up for, a first delivery sort of basis, he would of course be there with that, and we could arrange something on, if you're gonna be getting the first thing, make sure he has time in the schedule to be able to talk to you when upon the first delivery, where you can go over the process of what they've already done, and because at that point, really, he'd need to have his route and everything planned out, anyways. So
basically, pay us some money.
Yeah, basically,
yes,
pay us some money and let's see your facility. What did you do once you found your way out of jail?
I go into the inn where I had my room.
Okay, so you're in, not the one that you knew the party was.
Yeah.
Okay.
I look at him, smile. I'm requesting a room because I've been gone past when my room was rented. No answer. He just sits there and goes, "Did it get taken over by Beaker?"
At that point, it was more fun to keep doing it. He doesn't really respond with words, but basically holds out a key.
I don't either.
Yeah, basically holds out a key, waits for money.
I give him the money, I walk into the room, and then I dig through the pouches that I stole.
Oh yes, I forgot. You had that. Yeah.
Because your place was what, like 5 silver a night? Because you didn't get breakfast?
Yeah.
That's expensive.
You find yourself with, between the pair of pouches, you get 8 silver. You get 35 gold. You also
Get a roll on the treasure table.
Remember, if you don't get caught, it's all legal.
Even if you didn't, how are they going to track him down?
Little did you know that this item was a lich's phylactery.
You find 2 polished moonstones.
I don't know what those are used for. Okay.
You use them
They're a
both.
type of gemstone. They're valuable.
Yeah, if you use them both at the same time, you can break dimensions.
I don't think that's how it works. But yes.
Can I upgrade my Clefairy to a Clefable?
No. You don't have a Clefairy.
That's the only thing that's missing from that. The only reason
I control the world. He will never get one. I will never let him touch that.
So
What about a Geodude? Or Zubat? This place would be
Moonstones don't work with that. No.
Trio.
Also, the same place you find those is where you find Clefairy. So shut it.
You just throw it at Eevee.
Just to be fair, Clefairy was only in Mount Moon. Geodudes and Zubats are in every cave, every continent, everywhere.
Yeah, remember that. Remember that. There are several of the games that did not have those. So
I've yet to see one.
Once
I think Black and White had like none of the original Pokemon.
Okay, so I go to the shop with the dead horse or whatever it is.
Corpse's Cart?
There we go. Would you stop that?
you buy these
Just
things,
scared
look
it.
for all
You
these
didn't
red
kill it.
handprints. Don't worry about the red handprints.
Oh, ha! Oblivion.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the red handprints. Nothing. I just had some jelly.
It's just jelly.
Yes,
Hey, man,
it's
that
from
has
the
smoke.
jelly from the pies.
Yeah, some of the jelly jams from the pie.
So you find you walk your way in, same dark room, not same person sitting on the counter. A small girl, basically visually from what you are to, basically the equivalent visually of about a 12-year-old, with a dark purple sort of take on the typical drow skin, and dark red hair that sort of falls down around a pair of horns that start near her forehead and follow around her head, sticking out near the back. She sits with crossed legs on her table as the normal shopkeeper did. Her feet, however, are hooved, and she has a dainty, fragile appearing tail. The primary thing that you notice at first, given that you only have a little stone for light once you walk in here, is that her eyes also glow yellow in the dark. Hi.
I stand there waiting for the shopkeep.
How may I help you? We sell things of magic. Would you like something?
I love the fact that maybe she gets more questions you eventually just invert.
She's just sort of,
Just
folds legs down and sort of and pulls out, a pen and has to shuffle around paper.
Walk over, right on there. Where's that one dude?
Father's helping with the attack investigation.
Did he fuck a bull? No, I don't write that. I just go, can you appraise gemstones?
We don't typically. Do they have magical properties?
Do you know someone who does?
What do you have?
Who? You just said you don't do that.
It says not typically. Do they have magic properties? And you shrugged your shoulders.
He's like, so who appraises gemstones?
Probably a jeweler.
Where are they?
Way down on the Merchant Street.
Okay. I write on paper, can I keep this? And point at the paper.
She takes back the pen.
I got on the merchant street.
Yeah. I guess you just point to your yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can eventually find, you know.
I kind of go, not that one dude question, the next one.
Where's
that one dude?
that fucking asshole's over there.
But yeah, you find your way to a jeweler, you know, and of course you walk in and, you know, sort of the, what would you like to...
Can you praise gemstones?
Yeah, so you're looking to sell something, or you're looking just for value estimates? What do you...
I put on the paper. I go... I make the writing motion. I don't have a pen.
Yeah, no, he eventually figures it out, and he'll get you one.
At this point, you would think you would have thought of like buying a small slate board.
This
in
is
some shop.
way funnier.
But yeah, he'll get you a pen. He'll get you some ink.
Like, just appraise them.
Well, you know, how much do you have to appraise?
I pull out the 2 polished moonstones.
I will appraise them for 4 copper.
I pull out 4 copper. That's exactly how many copper I have.
Is it?
That's a good
You
price.
look at
That's a good price.
And yeah, and he'll just take time and he'll actually look at them.
2 copper apiece.
Yeah, and it's easy. But you know, in the end, if you could if you were selling them to an end buyer, if I were basically he'll give the I would give you 30 gold a piece for these if you wanted to sell them. If I were selling them to an end buyer, honestly, I'd sell them for about 50 a piece. And then, of course, I'd probably try and set them in something to increase the value further. But just as plain stones, if I were to put them on my shelf, I would sell these for 50 gold a piece.
But like any pawn shop owner ever, it's like, you know, I'm going to pay you less so I can sell for more.
And you paid him to appraise it, and he blatantly says, here's what I saw it for, and here's what... It's like, no, you paid for the appraisal, you get both.
Yeah, man, it's gotta make its dime somehow.
Yeah.
I put on there, is there somewhere where I could make a better... someone who would pay me more? Like they're dumber or something?
You would basically have to find someone that's, you know, willing to... that's looking at it for an end price, or that just blatantly doesn't... that you can... if you can talk to someone up to it, then you might be able to find... Yeah, no,
I just look at him like...
No, he'll get to that. He's like, if you could talk someone up to it, you might be able to try and sell them for more on something. But shy of that, you'd have to pretty much be finding someone that wants them for a personal collection.
No, we want to see the impassioned haggling with the guy who has to write everything down.
I put on there, I might be back.
Very well.
I take the stones and I go to the dwarf.
Yeah.
As you steal his pen.
Oh, wait, I totally do get back the pen. It's funnier to request everyone supply me with the way to deal at you.
You go to your door. Hi! Need a new axe. I've actually been working on one that I thought...
I hold up the stones.
I could set those in something for you, looking for something ancient.
Would you like to buy them?
I mean, what are you looking for them?
40.
No, I'm not really sure I could quite return on that. I'm not positive what they're worth, but as far as, I mean, I'd simply be setting them in something, and
I had them appraised. I put on there, I had them appraised. After he gave me a pen, of course.
Yeah. And no, and he knows you well enough to you know, you don't have much trouble getting it from him. Yeah, let's sort of give the... Yes, but as far as setting them in sort of a tool or piece of equipment, I don't think I'd quite be able to make... you know, that it wouldn't quite fully appreciate the value with the way that I would be using them.
35.
You may make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
It's either a 7 or a natural 20. I'll take the 7.
Do you get a bonus to it?
No, it's
No,
persuasion.
7. Okay. With that, at most I could do would be 20.
Okay, I go back to the shop.
Okay.
I just go and turn around and walk away.
Okay.
Go back
Do you
to the shop.
steal his pen?
No, I give it back. I give back everyone's pen. I require they supply me with one. It'd be awful crappy of me to steal them and then throw them away.
So
they
you
have
throw
to give
back
me a pen.
very quickly to the stop you were just at. Make up your mind. And set him down. Yeah, he'll sort of get out and count out and give you your money. Yeah.
So he did actually give me 30 each, right?
Yes, yeah. 60 for the two. Yeah.
You just start collecting pens, and then like, I sell pens now.
Some people would not be okay with it. Some of them would. So.
Is that paper used up yet?
There's still a bank and plenty of things you can point to.
Alright. I walk off with the paper.
Yeah.
You're just making a living dictionary so you can point to different words.
I did that once when I was at work because people told me I had to talk or else I would die. So I wrote all of my responses on a styrofoam cup and just pointed at them for the rest of the evening.
Where do you go from there?
I go to the magic shop.
Okay. You get your stones appraised.
Uh-huh.
You speak. No, you're not. Can I help you with something now? She nods, pulls out the pen. You're holding the paper probably off to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My little stone as I'm writing.
Yeah.
I'm like, looking around, frowning, no lights.
Yeah, no.
I want something that gives me dark vision.
Well, they already went over that, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't remember the price though.
Yeah. Let's see if it changed.
She's a way easier sell. Selling stuff at discounts.
He flexes to lower the price.
I look for my beach ball. You know, have you seen my beach ball? It's about this big. Might be over here or over there.
As far as you're concerned, visually, she appears to be about 12.
Which means that she makes bad decisions? I don't know.
That she's a tween who likes boy bands, but they don't exist.
Either that or she's
No,
some
I
sort
am
of
strictly-
drow tiefling hybrid thing that's probably
Yes.
ancient.
She's not ancient, but she is very clearly younger than...
It sucks for you, Tim.
Anyways, while he's getting that price, Austin, you are having a lovely conversation.
We're making friends, learning about the wonders of Wall, and how cool she is.
What are your feelings? Are you persuadable?
Yes, though I highly doubt they're going to convince me that not traveling is a good plan.
She seems to have no intention of doing so. She seems to have much less of a, solitary focus on love as a goal, as a strong inclusion of her in wherever you go. She is really just trying to almost express the virtues that she has, and she seems to have no delusion moving forward from here that you or that many of the people that come into the area truly focus solely on her. She seems very realistic in that respect.
Well, if she spins a good yarn, I wouldn't be against it.
Yeah, no.
I do think the spider stuff's pretty cool.
Yeah, no.
Well, then, Lost specifically spins a good yarn. She is a weaving god.
I think he did that on purpose.
Hey, let's call it that. Let's call it that.
Oh, okay.
Let's call it that. That was on purpose, yeah.
Alright.
100%. Totally pre-planned.
See, your life is a web, and Lilith is the spider.
But yeah, no, she...
You're the butterfly and she eats you.
I know. She paints
Because
quite a
life
beautiful
is
picture of it.
death.
And that's her
She will
taking
even
you
talk
into her
some,
bosom.
as going to some of things she knew before. She lived on the surface.
So did I.
Yeah. she kind of, that's kind of what brings her to that. And she very much thought of an abandoned feeling that, that this is, fulfilled.
Oh, I've never felt like that.
She smiles.
Then again, she's a cleric. She gets to feel mystically connected to her god.
I'm mystically connected.
There's something.
Yeah.
But no, in the end, she will basically kiss the bracelet, and the 2 gems fall out, and the 2 halves fall apart, and she gathers them up off the floor.
I can't keep that.
No, you can't.
I can't just throw this at someone.
What? I can't just have. I can't. No souvenirs.
No. But you are welcome to come back if ever you wish to talk further.
Oh well. I mean, I don't think I'll be around a lot. Gotta move
Very
along.
If you come find your way passing through, and you always have Lolth there.
Sure. Not really a church guy. Devout. Not really a church guy.
You don't need to be.
A church guy? Well,
You have her ear whether you're here or you're walking the road.
She's real pushing that easy going off.
hey, I'm not against looking for handouts.
No.
Hey, Farley is kind of an easygoing guy. He's not really,
Yeah.
prone to helping people out unless you really need it. I'm okay with begging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, she is very much. She is almost pushing a deity that if someone knew, which she seemed to, who you worship, would almost push towards your angle. She is almost painting a picture for that. For basically taking what she might know with those few details and painting a picture of a deity that works for you.
Hey,
You might think of it probably later after you left, not so much as you're there.
Hey, I know you're playing me, but I'm still okay with it.
Yeah, no, it's the kind of thing. It's like you kind of...
Gotta respect the game.
just a general, you worship a god. What's wrong with little polytheism?
Nothing. Polytheism
Yeah, no,
is
she
great.
had a very strong point that is what most people do. It's like, no, that is not the path I walk.
What am
And she will very much go with if you are ever interested, there are amazing virtues and great things to that. For focusing on the love that she has. But that is not what most people do. I am no fool.
Well,
You also probably, by the time you've gotten there and the few interruptions you have, figure out that she leads this church.
oh, neat.
It's like, as far, and while this is one of the more grand visually, the buildings, you're not positive if this is like one of the higher churches or if it's just almost a showman kind of church that you're in. But there is definitely a...
It's gotta be at least kind of big.
Yeah.
Got referrals from the government.
Yes.
Well, I head on back to our meeting location.
And you are quoted 450 gold for the for Goggles of Night.
You're close.
And I didn't walk out.
Very well.
I am close. Just 200 gold away.
Yeah, that would all. Pilfering you did inside of jail.
Hey,
So
they arrested me. I should get paid for my time.
That's all I
regardless of who pays you, right?
compensation.
Listen, if he didn't like it, he should have been earlier in line, just because I'm bigger than him.
I like to assume that at the very least one of those pouches was the person that stood up and bothered to bet you that he was mute. That's just in my heart. That's what I like to assume.
Or drop.
The guards robbed him.
But you all meet back up at the Drained Cauldron.
Neat. I wasn't
Party together again.
wasn't allowed to keep the bracelet.
Wait, I did?
I let everyone know.
I believe you did.
No, he went back to his inn.
I don't stay at that one,
I
because
know.
mine is 5 silver cheaper.
Yes, but didn't you say you went back to meet them at the inn?
Did I?
I may have.
I just said
Austin
that I
said
left.
he goes back to the meeting place.
Okay.
He just walked out of the...
Okay.
Where
You
did
know that that's where your friends all meet, though.
I've probably been arrested again by this
You
time.
were there. You know they have good food, and you know that was the last place you saw them.
Okay,
Last-
fine. I won't derail the group just for being obnoxious.
Thank you.
As a favor, I'll do what I'm
You
supposed to.
you have your room and your key for the room in the place like across the street. But
Yeah.
Also, this place had better food, remember?
The other place didn't have food at all.
This place had significantly better food.
Infinitely better food.
Well, you can lick the dirt off the floor.
I can do that anyways, for free.
No, they'll stop you here.
That's right. Oh, you gotta charge for that.
But yes, so you find yourself in the tavern all together.
Yep.
Did I ever tell you guys about how great Walth is?
We should do that next time.
Nah, we can do that in our postscript. This is what's going on. I go ahead and I'm going to pay this sermon forward.
As she's talking, I'm discussing with Ryan the
I guess-
investigation so far.
Yeah, I got some financial records. Did you actually pick up anything for us to look over?
No, I was talking to
And if
people
it
for
starts
us.
getting louder, I'm going to take a cup and just start banging the bottom of it at his face.
Yeah. I'm going over it and say I'm looking through and I'm just trying to see, like, major expenditures or anything like that I can learn from it.
Yeah, as far as individual expenditures, you don't see it. It generally seems to be assessed bits of what they currently had. You can gather maybe something major was sold off or lost or something as far as the company that had a major drop. But the other two seem fairly close for the two collection times that you have, and nothing drastic is deemed for that. You can definitely, I guess, sort of see their assessed value comparatively.
And I also, talking with you...
I'm just thinking, I did not intend this to be such an in-depth...
No.
Sorry, I know, it's like the kind of thing, it's like at this point I've dug myself a hole. I didn't even name the companies. Like, I gave you that level of detail to prevent it from being a focus, and you focused anyway.
No. We're starting
You
up
love-
investigating
I know!
corporation.
Well, for the record, I got arrested when I would have gone around and started just giving them diarrhea. And thereby achieving revenge. And assuring him that, no, we got revenge on all of them. We put them out of business for 3 days due to stomach rumbles. They got them tummy rumbles going on down there.
Anyways.
That wasn't the job.
Yeah, no.
Would have shown down, though. That's $1,000 each.
Do you do anything else late this evening?
No.
No, I'm going to confer with...
Exchange information that you've already gathered. Yes. Keeping no secrets from each other regarding the investigation, of course. Talking about it openly in this public tavern. We got it. And
They're speaking a language that most people don't speak.
No, we've been around here. Most people
speak common.
That's so weird.
No, the majority of the people down here speak common, unless you went out to the smaller towns outside of here.
Common's just a trade tongue. People on the boonies.
There's, like, undercommon is a thing.
But do you realize how many people in this town have actively been things other than just drow? And there are almost no deep gnomes in here. So it's basically, that would be the drow language, and that would be, and anyone outside of there is that. And the length of time that
I didn't say anything.
Well, you don't think it's
it may only be like around 5-ish% of the population is something other than drow, but that's 5% of the population that has brought together a language that has allowed external communication. Most people know it. Most people know Undercommon and Elven as secondary languages that they can do in private, and if they want to keep something from you surface folk, they will feel free to do it. But most of them do not speak Undercommon in their daily language because they don't want Undercommon to be picked up by all of the surface folk, because they do want it to be kept somewhat, sort of almost like a hidden language that they can keep amongst themselves.
No, they're the French. They're keeping their language pure, not bringing in any of these common words.
Yeah, that's
also, we're going to probably have to put the mine co-investigation stuff on hold so we can handle the more important stuff.
Now that you're back together.
Yep.
Beyond just that, does anyone tell Erich that you have named yourself the Strong Arms?
Yeah, I just explained to him with all my words.
You just go like this.
It's like
he seems to want to flex to you for some reason.
very nice.
Just flexing at him as hard as I can with all the importance I can muster.
as we zoom that evidently
You head back to your room, your tavern, or your inn, rather. Do you bunk up with someone? I think both of you have separate rooms here, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I'll take a floor.
Okay, yeah, you can be in my room.
Yeah. If someone will share, that will keep you from having to spend money.
Yeah.
I am low on money.
Yes, basically just
What,
tell
didn't
you
you
that.
just get your payout from your portion that you didn't get when we completed the quest?
No, you can't speak. You are a mime.
Oh no, if you ask me about it, I can fork you over the 100 gold that you're owed.
Now I have money.
Probably as you're on the floor in his room. Oh,
Yeah.
by the way,
Yeah. Here's your 100 gold.
by the way, you're not
in
poor.
jail.
And did you do anything else before splitting for the night? You head to bed. Pick up there. Let's say 550 experience for everyone. I had fun. And from there, we will see you next time.
Oh.
Bye.